The Atlanta Dream get back on the winning side as they take care of the New York Liberty. ATL Dreamin Podcast starts right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome to another edition of the ATL Dream Podcast. We are back, episode 6 of season 5. I'm your man E-dub, joined, of course, by none other than Miss Yakiri. What is up, Kiri?
Hello, sports lovelies. How are you today? Happy Sunday.
Yes, happy Sunday to you too. We are back after a week hiatus. Let me be transparent. We tried to give y'all some content over the week. Didn't we, Kiri?
Yeah, we did.
But the technology wasn't technologying.
Truly.
It just wasn't working. We tried several different avenues, and then we were just like, you know what? We just got to go back to our Sunday and just kind of just make it do what it do. So for those of the regs that are used to us coming out on Sunday, we apologize, but we here now. You know what I mean? We here.
We in this.
Yes, we are here. And thank you for checking us out, whether this is your first time onto the pod or whether you are a regular. We appreciate you for checking us out. And before we get started, we're going to let you know how to follow the show. You can follow me follow the show at ATL Dreamin, ATL_Dreamin on X. Make sure you give us a follow there. You can follow my musings at Hawks Beat. That is all one word. That's a lot of my content that I produce for the Atlanta Hawks. And you can follow Yakiri at
Chicks into Sports. Drop the S for Twitter and keep the S for IG and also the Facebook. Chicks into Sports.
Look at you. You spelled the name right this time. And you didn't even have your glasses on.
Right? I double check.
It's a good Sunday, man. Of course, we're going to talk a little bit about the Dream win, talk about kind of where we're headed and how you feel about the Dream team. And we're going to get into the thick of things. So first things first, Kiri, did I ask you how you're doing?
Oh, yes, you did.
I didn't want to be rude. So as of now, looking at the standings, the Dream are currently fourth place overall. They are second in the East. They are, you have the Minnesota Lynx, the Phoenix Mercury. Oh my God. Did you know Phoenix was 12-4?
Right. That's insane.
Like, where did they come from? They won 6 in a row. I had no idea like they shot up like that. So, hey,
right.
Shout out to them, man. Phoenix is number 2. New York Liberty is 11-5 after today. And the Atlanta Dream is 11-6. So we are still a top 4 team in the league. And that is a good thing, man. Of course, you got Seattle coming in at number 5. The Golden State Valkyries, surprisingly, they're number 6. The Fever and the Mystics are the 7 and 8 team. And those are the teams that will be in the playoffs if the playoffs started today. Surprisingly, the Aces are 7 and 8. Sparks 5 and 11. Wings 5 and 11, Sky 4 and 11, and Connecticut Sun 2 and 14. So that is the breakdown of the WNBA standings. But I want to start with a little unrelated Dream news today. Kiri, you know we're both fans of just the WN its totality, but I don't know if you've seen any of the highlights or anything. But the LA Sparks retired Candace Park's jersey today, so you know. Shout out to Candace Parker. You know, what are your thoughts on one of the GOATs? Well, she's one of my GOATs of the WNBA. What are your thoughts on Miss Parker?
You know, well done. I mean, there's nothing else to say. She is one of the GOATs. I mean, we're talking about Candace freaking Parker, okay? So, yes, kudos to Candace. And, yeah, that is such a momentum moment for just a illustrious career.
Definitely well deserved. I remember when she came into the league. You remember you remember that fight she got into like her rookie year? Like they was trying to take her head off. Like
And
folks are really sensitive about Caitlin Clark. When Candace came in the league, man, she got no fight. Man, that thing was ugly.
yes, yes, well said.
Yeah, so this ain't nothing new, man. But shout out to Candace Parker, a wonderful career. It is really nice to see them give her flowers like that. And Carrie, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
And we've kind of talked about this a little bit. If the Dream were going to put a jersey in the rafters, we could all assume that that person would be Angel McCautry, right?
Facts.
Like, what do we need to do to make that happen?
I
Like,
know. You know,
we got to put a jersey up.
exactly. We got to lift that jersey up to the rafters. Honestly, I mean, it is time. It is time. Who do we
Yeah.
need to speak to?
I don't know. We need to speak to the manager. But I mean, and I was talking with our good friend Glaze and Rashad at the game actually about this. And I think in all honesty, like there was a little bit of tension when Angel left the organization, but they got to figure that out, man. Like Angel needs her jersey up in the stands for what she's done for this organization, taking them to 3 finals,
Mm-hmm.
and just like what she's done, man. Like they got to find a way to make it work. But
Absolutely, I totally agree with that.
we'll
Because
put that in the atmosphere and see what that is, man. We'll put that in the atmosphere. So,
we will. Don't make me
um,
write an email,
a harshly worded email.
right?
Also in WNBA news, the captains for the All-Star game have been named, and one captain is Nafisha Collier, and the other is Caitlin Clark.
Mhm.
Those are the 2 highest vote getters. Carrie, did you ever vote for the All-Star game, All-Star
I
team?
did. You know, I did. Yes, I did. I did that on, I believe it was Tuesday.
Very good, very good. Because you were about to get a sternly worded email if you didn't vote. And I hope all of you Dream fans send in as many votes as you can for your Dream players. The way this is going to go is this: like they have the 2 captains, and the rest of the starters are going to be announced on Monday night. So that is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Aside from the captains, which are determined strictly by fan voting,
Mhm.
the other 8 starters are going to be chosen by a combination of fan voting, player, and media voting. So the fan vote isn't like the end all be all, right? The fan vote is really just 50% of the final vote, while the players and the media accounted for 25% of these. So that is how the starters are going to be revealed. And then I believe July 6th, which is probably the end of when is July 4th?
That's Friday.
July 4th is Friday. Okay, so July 6th is when we'll know when the reserves are going to be on there. So they're going to pick like 12 reserves. And yeah, so my question to you, Miss Kiri, how many all-stars do the Dream get in the game?
Ooh, that one is a tough one. And if I wanted to just throw some numbers out there, can I do 3? Can we
Yeah,
do?
it's
Yeah.
your world.
I want to do 3. I want to put BG up there. I want to put Ryan. Hopefully, she is not injured or recovering from an injury. And let's do Alicia. Those are going to be my top 3.
Okay. I would love that. I currently was voting for all of the 5, but I'm realistic. I voted like 4 times, and all 4 times I just put the Dream starting 5 in there. Well, no, I didn't. There were several times that I voted for like Nafisha and like some of the girls that I like, but for the
Yeah,
most part, it was just heavy Dream. Trying to get them up in there. I
exactly.
think that the Dream get 2 in.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Alicia
Mm.
Gray, and I'm gonna go a little bit a different road from you. I'm gonna go Alicia and Brianna.
Okay.
I think those are the 2 that get in. Not saying that all 4 of them don't deserve it with Ryan and BG. BG might get in there because I think she's like in the top leaders,
Yeah.
rebounding and everything. But I don't know. I just, for the sake of the question, I think that Alicia gets in. I think that Brianna gets in. But um, I think we're both agree that Alicia's going to get in.
Oh yeah, for sure. Alicia, it's killing it. Yes.
Yeah, she's having like a low key like MVP type season right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Alicia's pretty much the surety, I believe. And then the other ones are kind of touch and go because there's really so many women that are just having really good years. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
you got to credit them. You can't really say, "Oh man, these girls ain't really nah." Like you got to
Right.
credit like they're balling,
They
you
are.
know? They're
They are.
balling. So we will see in the upcoming future on who gets in and who doesn't. But
Well, can
thank
I
you.
say this before we end this topic? I just wanted to say with Caitlin Clark that whole situation, it seems as though she has what the most votes
Yes.
and calculated 1.2 million votes, all
Yes.
for Caitlin. I was like,
Yes.
we had to discuss that. Now,
I
what?
mean,
Yeah, 1.2.
it is the elephant in the room. I mean, the Caitlin Clark machine. Um, what are your thoughts on that, Kiri?
I think that's fantastic. I was like, how 1.2? I mean, but yeah, hey.
I mean, I'll say this, and I think we both understand what the Caitlin Clark machine is. For whatever reason, be it good, be it bad, that is the following, right? I have some thoughts about that, but I will say this. When it comes to all-star games and things like that, and this isn't a shot against CC, deserve don't got nothing to do with it. It don't got nothing to do with it, right? If you got the votes, you got the votes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just kind of what it is, man. I remember when Yao Ming first came into the league for the NBA, and he had a huge following and a huge international following.
Mhm.
And so when it was time to vote, all his countrymen from China,
All right.
remember, he would be like the leading vote getter. And it was no
Yeah.
disrespect. He was an all-star, but I mean, he wasn't better than Shaq. He
Right.
wasn't better. That's just the name of the game. And that's all I'm gonna say. I think Caitlin she's deserving of all-star consideration, but the game is the game, man.
Hey.
Deserve ain't got nothing to do with it. So shout out to her, man. Shout out to
Shout
her.
out to Kate
And
Clark.
shout out to Nafisha. Shout out to Nafisha. She's
Got
having
it.
a great year as well. All right, let's get into some of this Dream talk really quick, man. The Dream are 6-4 in their last 10. Um, ran into a little bit of a losing streak the last two games, and low key, this game was kind of a must win. I kind of looked at it that way, and I was looking at this might be their toughest part of the schedule, albeit at home. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to go through like they played New York today. Who did they play? I missed the other two home games. You had the other two home games. Who were the
Oh
last
my
two home games?
gosh. Yeah, so on Friday,
That's
Minnesota.
when the lights went out,
Oh
right?
God. Do we have time to talk about
Yes. Tell me a little bit about when the lights went out because I wasn't able to make it. I had a previous engagement, but
Listen,
tell me about the lights going out.
when I tell you it was a weird moment in time, I mean, I don't know. We've been through quite a few situations at arenas, but to have the lights to completely, and they didn't totally go out because, of course, those big facilities run on generators.
Yeah.
However, like the scoreboard was out. So we had to patiently wait for about 15, 20 minutes. The area that the media sit in was pitch black. So we were all sitting in the dark.
I would have been like this.
I know.
I would have my light. We're not finna be in the dark. We're not
Yeah, we
finna
were
be
in
in the
the
dark.
dark. We were in the dark and we were just trying to figure out. And it was told to us afterwards. Coach kind of mentioned it that the officials were actually contemplating, postponing the game.
Really?
Yeah, and here in Georgia, for those who are not here, we've had a series of storms back to back to back, and it's
Every
been a
day.
wild weekend. So even after the game, they were suggesting everyone to shelter in place in the arena. And some of us were like, "Oh hell to the no! I will get in my car and I will shelter in my car and shelter on home." But yeah, by the time everything was said and done, press conference was over. There was no rain to be in sight, so we were good. But yeah, it was a weird moment in time. I will say, despite the loss, we did see Trae Young come support Ryan. Trey was there. Hey Trey, come
Okay.
support. And so I'm going to set up this little, how it went down after the game. So we have Trey, we have Ryan, right? Now Trey was incognito. He was all in black. No one even knew who he was.
Yeah.
So he secretly goes to the court. Hi, Ryan. Great job, Ryan. Thank you. Thank you, Trey. I really appreciate it. No, you did a good job. I know I've been through many losses like this. And yeah, keep your head up. Oh, thanks. Are you coming back? And Trey ran off. So that was it. But no, seriously, Trey gave Ryan love. And I love to see that, though. I mean, how
Yeah.
many times do we get to see those players come out and support each other? But yeah, that's how I interpreted the conversation. Of
Yeah.
course, I wasn't there, but yeah, it was good to see Trey Young there to support Ryan and
Uh-oh.
Trey.
Trey just committed suicide. He just committed suicide
I
behind you.
know. Oh,
It's all right.
okay.
I
But
think
yeah,
he'll be all right.
he'll be all right.
Yeah, that's dope, man. It's dope to see him support the local team and outside of the WNBA. Like Trey has really bought into this city, man. He was also at the press conference for the rookie Asa Newell when he was introduced to the media. So it was just dope to see Trey there to support. He just sat front row. He dapped up the rook when he didn't take no questions. He just dapped him up, let him know he was there. Then he bounced out. Like that's big, and that's leadership. So shout out to Trey, man. Shout out to Trey. So
Absolutely.
I'm glad you got home safely. I'm glad everything was going well on Friday night with everything with all of the lack of power and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Dream had some issues closing out games. Another fourth quarter that the Dream just didn't, it seemed like they ran out of gas. And today, I'm going to tell you what. You and I have had extensive conversations about Sabrina Ionescu. And she is pretty much the Dream killer. So I was so nervous every time she touched the ball today, but I need to plug in my charger. But tell the world about our conversations about Sabrina and her just killing the Dream. I got to get my charger.
I mean, in all fairness, we have been very nervous about Sabrina. She has been one of those players that has just been unstoppable. Our team would just go up against the Liberty and they would just pretty much melt under the pressure. And now to see we got a very good win today, which was giving the team momentum to continue on and break that losing streak that we were so very upset about. So very upset about. But to see finally, we took down Sabrina. Oh my God. How was that atmosphere?
It was crazy because I think everybody understood the assignment, meaning even the Dream and even the fans, they knew that they had to get a dub, right? Because they lost 2 in a row. It's not going to get easier. And there's got to come a point where when you're moving from a mediocre franchise to an upper echelon franchise to where they want to go, you got to get a dub like that. And every time, I swear to God, every time Sabrina touched the ball, I was just like, and she did not she started slow. And then in the second half, she hit a couple threes. And I was just like, Lord, please don't let this woman get going. If she gets going, it's going to be ugly because we've seen it. But she rarely goes. Today, she was 5 of 15 for 14 points. Give me that every day of the week. And to be honest with you, that's what I love about her. I love the way she competes. She's really probably one of my top 5 players in the W right now. I love to see her compete. Yes, she plays with such a chip on her shoulder, and I just love that aggression about her. I hate playing against her. But I would it would be I would love for her to be on my team. But she is just a baller. She's a champion now after last year. and she's got some dope shoes. Like, have you seen her shoes?
Yeah, yeah, man. And I think too, in hindsight, I think we were kind of introduced to her through Kobe Bryant, and that
Mhm.
was really, for him to just stop and take notice of that was just like, we all
Yeah.
kind of rallied around, like, who's he talking about? So we're oh, okay. We see why she was kind of like that chosen person that he was like, people watch out for her. So
Yeah.
absolutely, he's living
And
up.
I see some of Kobe's game in her, not so much really the aesthetics or the footwork or anything, but really that Mamba mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Because she must have missed like her first 8 or 9 shots. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't care. She
Mm-hmm.
did not care. She's still pulling, she's still taking, she's still being aggressive, she's throwing bows. Like, and then it's just like she has the mentality, I'm gonna keep shooting until I'm hot. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I'm hot, I'm gonna keep shooting some more.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I tell you, between her and Stewie, man, like you're never comfortable. I think at one time the Dream's biggest lead was like 18 or 20, and I was still on the edge of my seat, like whew, I was never comfortable. I was never
You
comfortable.
can't be when those two. You can't be comfortable. You
Yeah,
cannot relax.
but it was a solid performance by the Dream.
Hmm.
All 4 quarters of them just locking in, and they couldn't hit no 3-pointers to save their life for like the first 3 quarters.
Hmm.
Nia was telling me that was the case on Friday night. Like, were they having trouble shooting the 3 ball? Like, what was going
They
on?
were having quite a few trouble. I mean, the pressure was on. Note that we did go into overtime, so
Yeah,
they were able to. They tried to close out the game, but yeah, it was a tough night for the Dream. But not only that, I will say, Coach Smesko.
yeah,
I want to say it right. Coach Carl, he definitely was very optimistic about the team and where he sees this team going. When we spoke about just how the dynamics of the players, just how they played even through this tough loss, he was very very pleased with the performance of the team. So just to say that, um, note that this team is on to something different. We've seen this, we've said this over and over every podcast that
mm,
this is not the same Dream. This is not the same Dream. This is a new team, and
yeah,
I'm really excited for the future for our team. Honestly.
yeah. Um, Again, why today's game was big is because you're starting to see a little bit of separation between the teams in the W.
Hmm.
And the Dream, they want to be in that top tier. A win today let them know, like, hey, we're in the top tier.
Hmm.
Like, and I know they caught an L against New York in New York. You got to defend your home. You put up 90 points today, which is impressive. Like, we should really go back and look at the numbers. How many times did we score 90 points last year?
What? Low scoring.
It was few and far between,
Yeah.
man. And today they had 5 people in double figures.
Hmm.
Um, Everybody was just eating a little bit. It was just like they were just so aggressive, and you just love to see it. I mean, I was on pins and needles. I'm always kind of like waiting for the sky to fall off. I can be so pessimistic, but um, I love the aggression. I love like the defense was good, and like if they would have made some more threes, they were 4 of 19 from three, 21%. That's not going to cut it. But you still won kind of relatively comfortably.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you can get that 3 ball to start falling, you might be cooking with grease. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, a few standout performances from me. Brianna Jones, who I believe is going to make it the All-Star team, 21 points and 6 rebounds. I just love her game. She just gives them such an inside presence with BG that is just pleasant to watch. Like she's never rushed. You know what I'm saying? She's just like a perfect vet, and I just love. I mean, she's one of my favorite additions for coming in. I mean, this year, but 21 points from her. I thought she was solid. Um, we do got to talk about Ryan Howard. But before we get to Ryan Howard, who left the game in the 3rd quarter from an injury, I really liked the game from Jordan Canada. Not so much the 15 points, but the 8 assists. And she just goes.
Hmm.
She gives me she drives me crazy because I'm always afraid like she's gonna fall and she's gonna get hurt again. I'm like, yo, you gotta chill, like don't fall, like
Yeah. Yeah.
But I really thought she did a good job of pushing the pace and just finding her teammates, getting them in a good position. And like they're a different team with Jordan, man. They're a different team with her. But
It's funny you say that. You've always said that you were a fan of Jordan. Did you not the first episode put Jordan Canada as one of the top players
I
this season?
did. I
Okay.
did.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
Just because just because like the point guard is so like that position is so like important, you know what I mean? And just having her back and having her run the point and just having that energy that she has on both sides of the ball was just it was definitely needed today. Definitely needed today. So
Absolutely. Kudos to JC.
yeah. Some news about Ryan. Ryan Howard left the game in the third quarter.
Okay.
The Atlanta Dream listed it as an upper body injury. They don't really have any other details other than that. She came back in the fourth quarter. She had a little sling on, but it didn't look like, I don't know. She had the sling on, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, even the coach after the game, Neil was saying that he didn't really say anything. He didn't really know anything about like, I guess they got to do some x-rays and stuff. So TBD on Ryan Howard. Hopefully it's just a stinger. Hopefully it's nothing too long because like this league is all about staying healthy.
That's it.
It's all about staying healthy. And so hopefully she'll be fine, right? Like we got to send her some good juju.
Absolutely. Send her positive vibes. I hate whenever any player goes down, not just the Dream or our home teams. But yeah, we definitely want to send positive vibes to Ryan. And hopefully, it's just a minor injury. Hopefully.
Yeah. Another person to note before we kind of move on, Naz Hillman. 10 points today, 4 rebounds, 1 of 4 from 3. She's shooting the 3 ball this year. And who would have known Nas had like this offensive bag? Because last year, she was just playing the center position. She was just, but now she's moving. She's playing almost like a wing. You know what I'm saying? And it was a topic of conversation today amongst the media. But I'm just really enjoying what I'm seeing from her today. I mean, as of late this whole season, man. So just shout out to Nas, man.
Yes. Absolutely. Like I've said before, this is a different team. It seems like everybody mindset is different. So I love it. I love it.
As far as the upcoming week is concerned, now, we did mention mine. It was in the sling, and hopefully it's just a stinger. But if this wasn't going to be a week to get hurt, it would probably be this one because the Dream have a couple of days off. They don't play again until Thursday. They have 2 more home games, which is good. You always want to, try to protect home. They have a game on Thursday versus Seattle, which is another one of the top teams, and versus the Valkyries, which is playing extremely well for a expansion team. Shout out to our old friend Monique Billings, going to be returning to the building, so it's going to be nice to see her. Of course,
yeah, of course it is. It's always good to see them. Even always good to see. It's kind of an awkward time. You pass by them, but I will say I've built some relationships with some of the former players, and I have no problem with going up to them and just speaking to them, and wishing them well in their next journey. So yeah.
Yeah, it's never awkward for me because, like, sometimes the fans will feel a way about it, but like, we're always like, "Oh, they was cool with us," and so we don't ever take it to them. So that game at the Seattle game is on Thursday. Then they got a couple more days off, and then they got the Valkyries on Tuesday. So only 2 games in the next maybe like 7 or 9 days, which is good. So give them time to rest up if they need, get some treatment, get some practice time in, and they should be fresh and ready to go for Seattle. So that's kind of a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the WNBA schedule can be kind of crazy.
Understatement.
It's like, why are you playing like a 12 o'clock game on a Wednesday? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's something that they're going to have to work through, and it's a whole thing. But
it is a thing. But we can only get what we can get, right? Baby steps, Ed. Baby steps.
Yes. So we haven't done player of the week in a while because we missed last episode because of um, technical difficulties, and so there's a ton of games that you can choose from. So when you select your player of the week, you can select it from today or just maybe the past couple of games that you've noticed. However you want to do the player of the game, I'm going to let you do the player of the game, your player of the game or player of the week. I'm going to let you select it however you want to select it. So
You
uh,
do.
I will let you go first with your player of the week.
My player of the week will be Alicia Gray. She is killing it on the court. I love, love, love. I do have a question for her the next game we see her, but you will hear about it. I got a
Sure.
special question. But most importantly, she's really is that standout player. I know we've mentioned that you in particular mentioned Alicia. You were like Team Alicia all the way around. And I have to say, I am Team Alicia. So she is my player of the week this week.
Shout out to the lefties. Shout out to the lefties. Uh, cool beans, cool beans. I've struggled with this one, and I feel like I've talked a lot about Jordan, and I feel like I've given her several player of the weeks. I also feel like I've talked about Nas, and I feel like I've given her a player of the week.
hmm
And so
hmm
I'm going to go in a completely different direction, and I'm going to give mine to Brianna. I
What?
don't think I've given Brianna a player of the week yet. And I don't even know how she did like during the week, but mine's mainly going to be from today. So mine is kind of more of a player of the game, if you
Okay.
will.
Okay.
Um, I just loved her energy today. I love her defensively. I loved her offensively. Uh, she was playing the big, like they had Ryan Howard playing Brianna Stewart, but um I just love what I saw from Brianna today, man. So shout out to Brianna. She is going to get my player of the week.
Awesome. Kudos,
Shout out,
Brianna.
shout
Yes.
out, shout out.
Oh, and listen, you have to still get their awards. Remember,
Yes, I got a whole bunch of little plastic medals that I need to hand out. Let
distributing.
distribute them. Let's distribute them. So, yes. Um, as we wind things down, it is time for us to give our parting shots as we prepare to get up out of here. Our parting shots are a time where Kira and I can kind of just clear our chest and say whatever it is we want to say. It's kind of our parting shot. It could be sports related, it could be not sports related. So, Kira, I will yield to you as always, and you can give your parting shot.
Okay, so my parting shots is going to just go out to all the ladies that's covering sports. I just love the camaraderie. I love the sisterhood. A lot of us, we see each other in different, teams, different leagues. It's just amazing to see us all come together and just love on each other. I always feel like if one of us fall, we all fall. I always say, look, we got to look out for each other because it is a male dominated world and it's a lot of more females than what it used to be, but to find the ones that are just genuine and just support each other. There's none like that other than in Atlanta. We have an amazing group of women covering sports. So I want to just give a shout out to all of the ladies killing it from, Bria, who's the in game, what is it, in game
In game host.
in-game host, all of everyone. I'm just talking about everyone in sports media. I love it. I love them all. And yeah, we got to ride together, and that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
I love that. That's dope.
Mhm.
That's dope, man. Shout out to all the ladies, man. There's so many of them, man. JJ, I mean
Yes,
Lauren,
yes,
it is so many. Like, man,
Tabitha.
we can't even begin to say all the names, but
I know,
I
right?
love the camaraderie. I love supporting them. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
they are truly deserving to be in the spaces that they're in. And so, like,
Absolutely.
yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to them. My parting shot is going to be a. We talked a little bit about Angel and the Atlanta Dream, and it got me to thinking about, like, we both admitted that there was probably a rift in the relationship, and which is unfortunate because Angel's jersey should really be up in the rafters, which everybody believes, but it's just a cautionary tale to be careful of the relationships that you have and
Mhm.
cherish them.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
never know that when they can come back and burn you. You never want to burn your bridges. And there's something in the good book, and I'm not going to take anybody to church, but it
It's
says that you
Sunday.
should
Go
it
ahead.
says that you should do your best to live at peace with everybody.
Mm.
And I try to live by that. Even if we don't understand, even if we don't get along, I can at least be at peace with you. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're listening to this, try to live your life with a peace with everybody, because you don't want to get to a spot where you may be deserving of something, but you may not get it because you burned the bridge or
Mhm.
they burned the bridge. So do
Mhm.
your best to live at peace with everybody. So
Absolutely. I love that, Ed.
that's my shot, man.
I
That's my
love it. I
shot.
love it. Kudos, Ed. Yes, I love that. Take us to church. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
It wasn't as good as the Trey Young and Ryan Howard, thing. So, it is what it is.
I got to find Trey before my dog has up.
Oh my gosh. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the ATL Dream Podcast. We went a little long for you guys because we missed you last week. So this is all for you. Hopefully we should be back next Sunday. Bright. And that is really cool how you do that. I wonder if mine will do that if I do that.
Yeah,
If
just
I
do
do that.
it. Get close enough.
Am I doing it right?
Oh my gosh. Back up, Ed. Back
I
up.
can't do it. It's that mine doesn't even look like a heart.
No, it doesn't
Anyway.
recognize.
Doesn't recognize it.
Work on
Not
it.
good at it.
Work on it.
But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for checking out the Hawks. Oh my God, I was about to say the Hawks Beat Podcast, ATL Dreamin Podcast. But if you want to check out the Hawks Beat Podcast, you can do that too. We will be back next Sunday talking Atlanta Dream and hopefully talking about a victory over Seattle. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and we will see you next time.
Bye,
Peace and love.
y'all.